I get back from the national championship meet. We're flying into Chicago O'Hare Airport, and I get a phone call from she was my girlfriend at the time, my wife, my girlfriend at the time, and she's like, Raheem, what the hell's going on? Like, she's crying hysterical. I'm like, babe, what's going on? What are you talking about? Like, and I haven't even touched the ground yet. I'm still in the air. We're just about to ascend right now. And yeah, she's calling me and she's like, what the hell's going on? Like, I can't believe this is happening. I said, what are you talking about? And then one of my best friends calls me, Samson. He calls me and he's like, he's crying. I knew it was real. Like, my wife crying. I'm like, okay, it's girls emotional. Like, it's like girls emotional. I don't know what she's dealing with right now. We'll figure it out when I get back to the university. But my boy was crying from back at home and he called me crying. I'm like, dude, this dude like tough as nails. Like, there's no way in hell he's supposed to be crying. Well, he calls me. He's like, bro, what the hell is going on? Like, I can't believe this shit. And he's like really like crying. He's like, your brother just got shot. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, your bro just got shot, man. And then I had one of my other best friends call me Cristobal. I grew up with both of these boys and they were like the best men in my wedding and everything. So he called me, he was crying. I'm like, oh hell, like it's really going down. But yeah, I got that news that my brother had been shot by my father on Father's Day. He'd been shot 4 times. And, at the time I really was thinking about leaving that airport, going to find my father, and like, I don't know what I would have done, but I would have thrown my whole entire life away. And thankfully, my wife reached out to my football coach at the time and was like, hey, Raheem's brother just got shot, try to see if you can get in touch with him. And so the football coach called my track coach because he knew I was there. And my track coach is a big, firm believer in Christianity, and he making sure that I'm safe and protected and that I don't do anything dumb. And I remember at the time not having a job or anything like that. I had about like $600 in my account, and I was looking for flights ASAP from point A, Chicago, to point B down in Daytona. And yeah, it was one of those things where I just knew that I was going to mess my life up, but I didn't care because my little brother needed me. And so the football coach called the track coach and was like, hey, look, man, don't allow Raheem to leave, whatever you do. And my track coach did his job. He did just that. He made sure I was good. He was like, how about we just try to call your brother, see if he's all right. So I called my brother and I'm on the bus and we're driving from O'Hare back down to Purdue University. And he tells me, I call my brother and he's like with a real like soft pitch, like hurting voice. He's like, hey bro, what's going on? I'm fine. I'm about to go into surgery. And at that moment, as soon I was like, bro, you need me to come down there? Like, I'll be down there. And I'll never forget the words that came out of his mouth was so inspirational to me. It was just like, bro, you keep doing your thing. Like, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Like, I've got these holes in me, but don't worry about it. Like, these holes are going to get filled. And when he said that to me, I was just like astonished. Like, this is my little brother. He's 4 years younger than me. He's like,
so he's in high school. He's in high school at this time.
No, he's out of high school. Yeah,
no, sorry. At the time of this incident.
Oh, at the time, yeah. He had just graduated. He had just graduated. So it was one of those things where like I went to his graduation that year and so proud of him and stuff like that, man. He came a long way. But yeah, when he had called me and told me like, look, I'm fine, man. Don't worry about it. These holes are going to be filled. I just couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, all right, bro, like I'm going to do this for you. Like at that moment, I think the mental aspect just kicked in for me. Like I cannot be denied because I got so many people riding on this for me, like with me, like, and so when he had talked to me about that, man, it just, like I said, from then on, I just try to get my mental aspect up and, everything was a competition for me, even though it was before, but it's just that extra boost of confidence. And then that's when I met you, my rookie year. Senior year didn't go so well for me in college. I mean, I came in as a starter. It was supposed to be, I technically forced their hand because of what I did on the track, but I came in as a starter and I finished like at least third on the depth chart again. So it wasn't like anything serious. I had like 500 yards. That's why I went undrafted.
How much do you think you would put that down to like you were still dealing with shit? You were dealing with stuff that no one else could imagine.
Yeah, I was still thinking about it, man, constantly. Just because, like I said, I didn't want to go back to Florida because God knows what would have happened if I, got my degree and just went back. So I knew that the only way I could make things happen in my life was to try to push for the league, push for my career, no matter what. And being undrafted, there's so many people that say, look, he's probably going to be late round draft pick, all this other stuff. He might not even be a starter in the league. He's probably going to play 3 more years. He's probably going to play a max of 3 years as special teams in the league. And I'm a testimony of what people have a lid on you. Like, it's up to you whether you accept that lid or not. And that's one thing you helped me with when I was going through with the Eagles and Philly. We had met up and we had those discussions. And yeah, at the time, I believe you were probably the only person that I really opened up to, just because I'm not at the time, I wasn't a very opening up type of guy. I was just more secluded by myself. I love my girlfriend and I'm with her and our dog, and that's about it. Like, I didn't care about anything else. But come to you, like, you have those workshops that you did with the team. I never forget the one workshop you had us do was partner up with each other in the auditorium. You remember that one? And you write down like specific. I still have the notebook that I look at it every year, and I write down. You told us to write down like something good that people say about you, something negative that people say about you, and something that you don't care what they see about you. Like you write your book, and you partner me up with Darren Sproles, one of the OGs. Like,
what a man. What a man.
Exactly. And so like we partnered up, and to hear what he had to say on his end was like, wow, like everybody counted this guy out just because he was too short, too small. He played however many years in the league. He's holding the record for like all purpose yards. This is a great matchup. So I'm learning from him. I'm learning from you. So it was like perfect. And so, yeah, I go through that phase in Philly, and then I get cut from Philly, get on their practice squad. And then I get picked up by the Dolphins the day that we were playing the Falcons. It was a Monday night game, the first season opener Monday night game against the Falcons. I got picked up by the Dolphins off the practice squad at 12:02 at noon time. And we were about
And you're playing at what time?
I think game time was at 8.
So you had 6 hours to get the playbook down, right?
Yeah. So my agent called me up and he was like, hey, man, you just got picked up by the Dolphins. You're going to be on their roster. And so the only thing that I have with traveling with the team, like you have the team specific gear. That's all I had was the Eagles gear that they gave us. I didn't have anything else because this is our first game. I'm not playing, so I don't need to bring an outfit or anything like that. But I never forget, I got picked up, and my girlfriend at the time, she was back in Philly, and we were about to sign a lease for a brand new apartment. And she was in the hotel, and she had to grab my suitcase out of the hotel and bring it to the facility to pack all my stuff up to ship it back to Miami with me.
Right. And you were signing that lease because you made the practice squad.
I made the practice squad, right. So I was a super.
So I remember those preseason games, like I think we first sat, you and I individually, in maybe week 2-ish. Like we did that first week and also the rookie program. And then you were, I think it was Deuce Staley at the time, running back coach, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And he was like, hey, can you get with Most? Like he's been great, but other days he's like really struggling. And so we talked a little bit about some of the stuff you just spoke about.
Yeah.
But I remember vividly, like partly because you're a great dude and you were going through some shit that I couldn't imagine. But partly because we'd actually talked about it and done some exercises. I watched you over each of the preseason games go from, you don't get a lot of time if you're fourth. I think you were running fourth at that point because there was.
I was. It was DeMarco Murray, Ryan Matthews, Darren Sproles, and Kenyon Barner.
Right. And so you and Kenyon were fighting out for 4.
Yeah.
Right? So you were barely getting reps. And then you got more as it went on, but you really started to become more consistent and more like a little bit like, fuck it. Like you were just turning up and going, letting yourself go, right? Do you remember anything in particular that was like, that freed you up in that sense? To be like, I'm just going to go.
It was the words that you told me. You were like, honestly, you just need to be a self-starter. Like you need to go in there and just not give a damn about like what's at stake. You just need to go in there and just play your game and have fun. you told me to do that, and I listened. Like, yeah, Deuce was like, he's a great mentor. Like, he's been in the game, he's played the game a long time, and he's coached it as well at a high level. And so for him, to even listen to what he said too, and then Sproles and all those guys in the room, it was just like, Sproles told me too, like, man, don't worry about it. Like, if you're not on this roster, you're going to make a roster. Like, believe that. And ever since that, it was just like, you know what? I'm just going to let loose. Like, I have nothing else to lose. Like, either I'm going to make this a career of mine, or I'm just going to, take my degree in business management and go figure out what I want to go do next.